Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Vlog Media Breeze. It is about 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not going to be here long. Just wanted to come on here, give you a little bit of news. So before I do that, for those of you who are new here, please, if you would be so kind as to click the like button, that's the thumbs up, the subscribe, which is the words written out to the right of it, and the notification bell, which is right out to the right of the subscribe button. And also, as we go along, please get into the comments. Let me know what you think about these topics and about these news. And I will recognize your comments by putting them onto the screen. Earlier, I had to start all over. I was having some difficulty and it really made me mad. Okay. So I'm going to move on. I wanted to come on here because, as much as I love doing the Real Housewives shows, um, and Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I will be on tomorrow to do, I also love bringing you updates to news and what's going on in the world around us, because sometimes we can get lost in uh, YouTube and into the world of YouTube and not really be cognizant about all of that. So I wanted to just share some information. I'm going to do most of it. I'll be reading to you, but there is, if you will go back to, like, say maybe August, there are some news that I did wherein I talked about the relationship between the United States and Russia, and just how it was a Cold War. Well, you guys, that Cold War is now brewing, as we see here in Reuters. Are you familiar with Reuters? Because they are also a very highly intelligent, highly reputable news medium. And I'm trying to make sure it's Reuters actually that's reporting this. Um, Actually, this one is the Washington Post, okay? This one is the Washington Post, and it's I was going to share my screen. I'm not sure if I want to do that, um, but I tried that earlier, and for some reason it did not work. So that's bothersome to me. So I will just read it to you. Let me just here. I'm pulling it up now so that I can read. Okay. Okay, you guys, just one moment. I'm trying to get this together here. I am not really good at all of, uh, let's see here. One moment. I'm sorry, you guys. I've already started over once. I don't want to have to start over again. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, I'm so sorry. I may not even be able to do this report. Actually, I can do it. I'm just going to have to read it. Oh, goodness. This is so annoying because I go back and I listen to my lives, and when I'm having these types of issues, it just really is annoying. um, it's annoying to even have to listen to. Okay, let's see if I can. I'm trying to get some help with this real quickly. So you guys just give me a moment here, okay? Oh, no, it's not even. It's the wrong one. Oh, goodness. What is going on? Where is it? Oh, yes, that is the right one. Okay, let's see. Let's try this again. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go again. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Oh my goodness, you guys, I know you are annoyed with me not having it together. Let's see. Please forgive me. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. I'm going to read it to you. Russia planning massive military offensive against Ukraine involving 175,000 troops, U.S. intelligence warns. Before I read this to you, now this is by Shane Harris Paulson. It was on yesterday. It is the Washington Post. And before I read it to you, I want to share with you that this is so important that Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin are planning a phone or not even a phone, but a what do you call it? A Zoom or a visual conference on Monday. No, Tuesday. Tuesday. It says here as tensions mount between Washington and Moscow over a potential Russian invasion of the Ukraine, U.S. intelligence has found the Kremlin is planning a multi front offensive as soon as early next year, involving up to 175,000 troops, according to U.S. officials and an intelligence document obtained by the Washington Post. The Kremlin has been moving troops toward the border with Ukraine while demanding Washington guarantee that the Ukraine will not join NATO and that the alliance will refrain from certain military activities in and around Ukrainian territory. Now, the Ukraine, you guys, is no longer a part of Russia. They broke off from Russia like decades ago, sometime in the 90s. And they are more of an independent nation. And remember, the Ukraine is also, I believe, that place where they had the nuclear plant accident where it blew up, and I forgot the name of the accident, but that was also in the 90s. And so they are closely more aligned with the United States than Russia, and Russia has never liked that, especially Vladimir Putin. He does not like it. He's always trying to do something against the Ukraine. He's always trying to make life terrible for them and just always trying to do something. Plus, the Ukraine, you guys, is literally like North Carolina and South Carolina in terms of distance. They are neck and neck right beside one another. And um, so this issue that they are bringing up now with regards to the Ukraine seems to be also very closely related to the relationship between Putin and Biden, or Russia and the United States. And this is happening now. And remember, just last week, Omicron came on board. Okay. Omicron came on board. And I believe that is a part of the war that we are fighting. And they started it in Africa to make it look as though it was not directly a direct hit against the United States. Um, it says the crisis has provoked fears of a renewed war on European soil and comes ahead of a planned virtual meeting next week between President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin. And that's another thing. The Ukraine is on European soil. The Russian plans call for a military offensive against the Ukraine as soon as early 2022, with a scale of forces twice what we saw this past spring during Russia's SNAP exercise near Ukraine's borders. Remember, this past spring, there were reports that they were doing testing near Ukraine. And that testing is resulting in what is probably going to be an all-out war. The reason this is pivotal, you guys, is because when you read the Bible, um, at some point, all nations are going to be against Israel. I don't know how Israel is going to come into play here, and that may be some years down the road, but this is um, the North, Russia, right? This is what it's talking about in Daniel and in the Bible when it's predicting how these wars are going to transform. And I'm just saying this to you all so that you can prepare your hearts and minds and to really get your lives straight, because whether it happens next year or 30 years from now, it matters what is happening in this world with regards to the nations and the nations' leaders. It matters. That's why God took the time out in the Bible to map it all out for us so that we would be prepared. Now, no one knows the day or the hour, no one knows that. At the same time, He does tell us to always be prepared. I'm going to finish reading this. The plans involve extensive movement of 100 battalion tactical groups with an estimated 175,000 personnel, along with armor, artillery, and equipment. Russia is not playing with this. And I'm saying this because earlier today, when I talked about the Omicron, and I'm hoping I say that right because, yes, Omicron. Um, I'm hoping, let's see here, but is because earlier today when I shared that information with you, um, I said to you, you pay attention to the sequence of events that are happening politically between the countries, and then you look at how these viruses are being let out. And I don't know if you all remember, but when COVID first happened, or right before it was happening, back in 2019, a Chinese doctor came out and exposed that it was a bioweapons war and that it had been released from a uh, a scientific center, and I'm saying scientific center lab, I guess, in China. But remember, they were thinking we were all dumb, telling us someone got bit by a bat. um, that's why I say, you guys, do not let people take your mind hostage. Don't let people take your mind hostage. Do your research so that you can come to your own conclusions. But the doctor who exposed COVID-19 initially, they executed him. He's exited this life. They executed him and he has exited this life. He came out to tell about it and he's gone. You know, I just, I can't with all of this. But so I wanted to share that information with you. One other thing I want to quickly share with you is you may have seen this as well. This is really kind of sad. Where did it go? I think I lost it, and I hate that I lost it if I did. But this is CNN reports. Okay, so let's see here if I can let you know about this. Chris Cuomo. Originally, they put him on an indefinite suspension, and now he has been fired. He has been fired by CNN after investigation into aid to brother Andrew Cuomo. Oh my goodness, you guys. He was the face of CNN. And as much as I hate to say it, because listen, I would have done the same thing for a close sister or brother. I would have done the same thing. He and his brother are very close. It's to be expected they are going to look out for one another. Their dad would expect them to look out for one another. Not to mention, you guys, I'm going to just tell you, and this is just my thought process, my commentary, my review. I do not believe that Governor Cuomo did all of that to those women and that those women were not willing. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. And I know other women are very um th- they're very resistant about saying these types of things, and they don't even like to hear other women like myself say that I don't believe another woman. I don't believe it. I don't believe them. I just don't. It was just all so coincidental. I mean, we're talking about Cuomo, who practically saved New York from the virus. And but this, you have to say that Chris Cuomo was the face of CNN practically. And the fact that they have gone this far means um it speaks volumes about their ethics. So you can't say anything negative about their decision, because every company has they have bylaws that they must abide by. And in journalism, this is one of them, right? At the same time, please, we all know this is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time someone has been given a heads up by someone in the media. It has happened before, but they wanted to make him an example. They wanted to make him an example. And I have been a part of human resource investigations before. So who's to say that whoever turned him in wasn't lying? Because all they need is more than one witness generally. But as you can see, corporate America is very discriminate when it comes to who they believe about um, information when it's more than one witness. Because look over at Bravo. Bravo had two people come forth about Ramona, yet Bravo is trying to keep Ramona. They're trying to get her to return. Andy going to the lengths of even implementing an apology for her live on air. Oh, but you apologized for that. We don't care about her apology and we don't believe it. We don't want her on the show, Andy. You have two witnesses, and then you still come out and say that the investigation did not find the information to be true. I don't believe that. I've been a part of an investigation where only one witness came forth and found, and they were lying, and it was found to be true. So, human resources is the devil, you guys, quite frankly. And there are a lot of devils in this world. So, you will hear me say that a lot, as you probably heard me say it on other videos. I digress on this story. I was watching, well, wait a minute before I digress. I was watching Tasha K, and Tasha K was, giving her weekly spiel about what's going on in Hollywood. And she talked about Cuomo, and she advised him to come over and work on YouTube. And yes, I would say do that. Do that. And because you're already very famous, you're very good looking, you will probably be making more money on YouTube than you were with CNN anyway. It would be easy for you to get 1 million subscribers in no time. So you guys reach out to him and tell him do YouTube and Instagram news. Start his own independent company where it's just him and his news. He can make his own bylaws, and he can come over here and get with Tasha K, Emily Baker, Kim Pyre, some of those people. Just have a whole board of people giving him some advice on how to get this YouTube thing set up, and just do the dang thing. Don't get down and depressed about CNN, because quite frankly, Tasha K is getting way more views than CNN is getting views. So you're okay. You're doing just fine. I digress now on that. So, that was the Washington Post, and that's what I came on here to speak to you guys about. And I just wanted to thank you for showing up. If you come in on the replay, please forgive my all of the technical difficulty that I had getting this set up and getting this news out to you today. And take care of yourselves. If you have that kind of faith, go ahead, get the vaccination. I cannot get the vaccination. I still have to wait a full 90 days. I think next week will be the week that I can actually get the vaccination. And I'm going to be praying about it because I'm actually scared of the vaccination. I've had two friends. One of them, I mean, they got really deathly ill and ended up in intensive care. And then I have one who didn't have the vaccination and became ill and ended up dying in the Caribbean. So, you guys, it's a different world. When I open up my computer during the day or my phone, or if I turn on the 7 o'clock news in the morning with Gail King, it's nothing but bad news. The world is amiss because they don't know God. The world is amiss because it doesn't know God. People are creating inhuman acts against each other, and it's every day. Now you got parents sending their children out uh to do fatalities against other people. You got parents doing that. That's not protecting your child. That's inhuman. It's the devil has his grip on this society, and they will not let him go. And they need to let him go and turn to God. It's going to be to the point where we are not going to be able to leave our homes, and it will not even be because of COVID or the Delta or Omicron. Omicron, which really sounds like a bad monster, doesn't it? Sounds like a bad, scary movie, Omicron. Oh my goodness. Um, well, I digress. I'm going to go. I'm going to be looking at Love and Marriage Huntsville in the next hour. It comes on at 8 o'clock at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be a repeat. And then the reunion part one comes on at 9 p.m. Um, Eastern Time. And even before I go with that, I want to say I watched the interview with DJ Richie Sky and Carlos King. Great interview. DJ Richie knows what he's doing, but sometimes he doesn't ask the hard questions. I love how smooth he is with everything, and I like that he did ask some of the hard questions, but one of the main questions he did not ask, do you know what that is? What happened to the footage that was previewed for the finale, wherein an ambulance was present and Mel and Martell were having um, a volatile showdown at her event, and there was an ambulance. Why was that put in there? Because if you just threw that in there and it was deceptive to keep us watching, that's not good, Carlos. Don't do that. Because, and I'm saying that because some of the language that Mel and Martell used was the same language they used when they were outside at that construction site arguing. And that's the same content that was being said in the finale. It was like it was being said as a voiceover or something. And so I hope they didn't put that in the preview for the finale to deceive us. And that's what I'll say about that. So I'm getting ready to get out of here. And thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to go ahead and close. And thank you to all of my subscribers. Again, remember to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And remember to mind your spirit or your ethos. Peace, love, and many blessings to you.